Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about top 10 facts about Mithraism. So before starting this video, like this video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. In pre-Zoroastrian Iran, Mithraism was the worship of Mithra, the Iranian god of the light as well as justice, bond and war. Known as Mithras during the Roman Empire's 2nd and 3rd centuries CE, this god was worshipped as the patron of emperor allegiance. Mithraism fell out of favor after Emperor Constantine accepted Christianity in the early 4th century. Here are top 10 facts about it. Number 10. The Iranians had a polytheistic faith, until ancient religious reformer Zarathustra, Greek name Zoroaster, acquired power in the region during the 6th century BCE, and Mithra was the most powerful of their gods. He was first and foremost the god of contracts and reciprocal obligations. Mithra is invoked as the god of oath in a cuneiform tablet from the 15th century BCE, that includes a pact between the Hittites and the Mitanni. Furthermore, the god Mithra, the Indian form of Mithra, appears in some Indian Vedic texts as both a friend and a contract. The word Mithra can be expressed in any direction since contracts and reciprocal duty create friends. In short, Mithra may refer to any form of interpersonal contact, or something that fosters positive interpersonal relationships. Mithra was referred to as the mediator. Mithra was also the sun god, the shining light, that beheld everything and was thus invoked in oaths. Mithra was worshipped as a sun god by the Greeks and Romans. He was most likely the god of kings as well. He was the god of war and he was the god of shared duty between the king and his warriors. He was also the god of justice which the king guaranteed. Mithra was revered if fairness and contract were practiced. Number 9. The bull sacrifice was the most important Mithraic ritual. Whether or not this ceremony was pre-Zoroastrian remains a point of contention. The sacrifice of the bull was condemned by Zarathustra, but it's possible that the ritual was part of ancient Iranian paganism. Mithra reluctantly participates in the sacrifice of a god named Soma, who frequently appears in the shape of a white bull or the moon according to an Indian text. Mithra reluctantly sacrifices the white bull on the Roman monuments, who is then transformed into the moon. This detailed parallel appears to demonstrate that the sacrifice was pre-Zoroastrian. Treaties were sanctioned by a common meal in ancient times, so contract and sacrifice are linked. Number 8. The Persian kings of the Achaemenid dynasty, beginning with Darius the Great, 522 to 486 BCE, were Zoroastrians. However, Darius and his successors had no intention of causing political strife, by attempting to eradicate the old beliefs that many nobles still held dear. As a result, elements of old polytheistic worship gradually infiltrated Zarathustra's religion. The yasht, hymns, were written in honor of the ancient gods. Mithra is depicted as the all-observing god of heavenly light, the guardian of oaths, the protector of the righteous in this world and the next, and above all as the archfoe of the powers of evil and darkness, hence, the god of battles and victory, and a yasht dedicated to him. Number 7. However, in the later Achaemenid period's mixed religion, the Zoroastrian aspects clearly outnumber the heathen aspects. The bull sacrifice, which every Zoroastrian despises, is never mentioned. When Alexander the Great conquered the Persian Empire around 330 BCE, the old social structure appears to have completely collapsed, and there is no longer any mention of Mithra worship in Persia. Number 6. Local aristocrats in the old Persian Empire's western provinces maintained their loyalty to Mithra. He was also worshipped by the kings and nobles of the frontier area between the Greco-Roman and Iranian worlds. Tiridates of Armenia conducted a Mithraic ritual, when he recognized Nero as his supreme lord, showing that the god of contract and peace created friendly ties between the Armenians and the mighty Romans. Mithra was revered by the kings of Commagene, southeast Turkey. Mithridates VI of Pontus may have been a Mithraic worshipper, and his Cilician pirate allies are known to have done Mithraic rituals, 67 BCE. The religion of Mithra, on the other hand, never gained popularity in Greece, and the Greeks never forgot that Mithra was the deity of their Persian adversaries. Number 5. There is no mention of the Persian god in the Roman world, until the beginning of the 2nd century, but there are hundreds of dedicatory inscriptions to Mithra from the year 136 CE onward. This resurgence in interest is difficult to understand. The most likely scenario is that Roman Mithraism was basically a brand new religion, created by a religious genius who lived as late as 100 CE, and who brought the ancient Persian rituals a new Platonic understanding, allowing Mithraism to be accepted by the Roman world. Number 4. Mithraism in Rome, like Mithraism in Iran, was a religion of kingly devotion. Emperors such as Commodus, 180 to 192, Septimius Severus, 193 to 211, and Caracalla, 211 to 217, seem to have encouraged it. The majority of Mithra devotees known to us from inscriptions are soldiers of all ranks, officials in the emperor's service, imperial slaves, and freedmen who were also very powerful people who knew which god would lead him to swift advancement. At Rome and Ostia along the military border in Britain and on the Rhine, Danube and Euphrates, Mithraic sanctuaries and dedications abound. In stable provinces, dedications are rare. When they do happen, the dedicator is normally a provincial governor or an imperial official. The Persian god had been totally assimilated by the Roman world within a few centuries. Diocletian did not neglect Mithra while attempting to renew the Roman state and faith. Diocletian and his colleagues dedicated an altar to Mithra as the patron of their kingdom in 307 CE, in a dedication from Carnuntum on the Danube near Vienna Fortori Imperii Sui. Number 3. Under the sign of the cross, Constantine won the war at the Milvian Bridge in 312. And if there was no immediate public prohibition of Mithraic rituals, the dedications to Mithra ceased immediately. When imperial favor ceased to be with the Mithraists, the worship appears to have abruptly collapsed. Between 357 and 387 there are further dedications to Mithra, but only in Rome. The dedicators are also from Rome's old pagan aristocracy, which was openly opposed to the young Christian emperor in Constantinople at the time. However, Mithra is only one of several typical pagan gods mentioned in these inscriptions. Long before the Mithraic mysteries had died away. When the Roman army was defeated, pagan worship was outlawed completely. Number 2. A collection of chants or hails to the various grades within the cult can be heard in London Mithraeum. These Latin words were carved into the wall of a Mithraeum, underneath the church of Santa Prisca in Rome by graffiti. A mosaic pavement in the central nave of an Italian Mithraeum was divided into 7 grades, each with its own symbols and related planets and gods, revealing more about this hierarchy. The temple was located on the eastern banks of the Walbrick River, in the grounds of a large house close to London's centre. Based on coin dates, we know it was constructed between AD 240 and 250. This is nearly 200 years after Londinium was created, so it is a late date in Roman London's history. Before being repurposed, it served as a Mithraeum for 80 years. We don't know who constructed it, but an inscription on one of the temple's most important statues, the Tauroctony, or bull slaying scene, claims that an army veteran named Ulpius Silvanus fulfilled his promise, perhaps by constructing the London temple. Number 1. Mithras is portrayed as a rock-born hero. He is depicted as a young man rising from a rock holding a knife in one hand and a torch in the other. He's naked and wearing a Phrygian hat while standing with his legs together. There are however exceptions. He is often shown as a boy emerging from the rock, holding a globe in one hand. Other times a thunderbolt is visible. Flames can also be seen shot from the rock and Mithras' cap in some depictions. One statue's base was perforated so that it could be used as a fountain, and another's base features the water god's mask. Mithras can also wield other weapons such as bows and arrows, and animals such as dogs, serpents, dolphins, eagles, other birds, lions, crocodiles, lobsters, and snails may be present. A bearded man known as Oceanus, the sea god, appears on some reliefs, while the gods of the 4 winds appear on others. The 4 elements could be invoked together in these reliefs. Victoria, Luna, Sol and Saturn all seem to play a part at times. Saturn is often depicted handing the knife or short sword to Mithras, which would be seen later in the Tauroctony. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.